Hey everybody, and welcome to AniBreak, the show where we talk about the week's topics in anime, manga, and video games. My name's Jason, and you remember last week we had that extended episode where we talked about the spring preview guide. We didn't even get to all of the series that are going to be starting within the next 4 or 5 days. But as they start making their way to the airwaves, we'll start getting more announcements from the U.S. companies regarding which series they're going to be simulcasting. And we already have the first batch, and they're actually including some series we didn't get a chance to talk about last week. So let's see if we can go through some of these real quick. Let's go with Crunchyroll because they're always, they're the big ones right now. One of the first titles they announced that they are going to be simulcasting is a series called Kamigami no Asobi. This is based off of a video game. It's a female-oriented dating sim. So for all you fans out there, you'll probably really enjoy this. It'll start airing this Saturday in about 3 days at 10 o'clock in the morning. The original game, which they call The Weaving of Fates, Love is Pain, was actually initially released on the PSP, released in Japan last year. The story revolves around the heroine Yui Kusanagi, who is ordered by Zeus, a god and headmaster of a school he created, to teach the meaning of love to young and handsome gods. The reason he has for doing this is to cancel the negative effects of the weakening bond between the world of the divine and the world of the humans. It's a reverse dating sim. That's all you need to know about it. And if you like those kind of things, you'll probably enjoy this series. The other bit, let's see, they announced actually this series. It's called Inugami-san to Nekoyama-san. It's based off of a 4-panel Yuri gag manga. Ever since, let's face it, Sakura, Trick took over the airwaves, I'm sure many other adaptations have been greenlit, and this being one of them. The series starts airing in Japan in 2 days. Crunchyroll has just stated they are going to stream this. They haven't stated exactly when. So simulcast is usually within the 24-hour time period, so I'm guessing by the end of this week we'll start getting a bit of this. The idea behind the manga, the girl in the middle, Suzu, she's just a regular character you would find in this manga series. She's a bit on the tsundere side. She loves dogs. And then you have the other girl, Yachio Inugami, who's super, just an airhead. She's a friendly girl, loves cats, but of course, for some reason, on a fateful meeting, the two find themselves attracted to each other. And that's all we need to look into that. We know exactly what this one's going to be about. Will it be as straightforward as, say, Sakura Trick? It's left to be decided. I've never read the manga, so I can't give you an insider's glance at it. So, I love how some people in the chat are like, "Yaoi rocks." No, Yuri. Wait, what? No, you got to figure this one out. Which one you're going for? Kind of a difference there. Just a couple more real quick. Crunchyroll made the announcement they are going to be streaming Majin Bone anime. That's coming from Bandai and Toei. This will be available actually starting next Tuesday. So, actually, no, I take it back. It aired yesterday, it looks like, actually. My bad, I haven't watched this one yet. There's really not much to say about this, except this is based on a digital card game. So, you have Bandai, they were working on the original plan for this. You have Toei Animation, who worked on the story for this. So, yeah, if you want to get into another addicting card game, you're probably going to watch this series. So you can add this to Weiss Schwarz and Cardfight Vanguard and Yu-Gi-Oh! And just goes on and on and on. So apparently that just started. It's between Toei and Bandai. You'll probably enjoy it. Now let's get to the final two from Crunchyroll, and I'm actually fairly interested in these two. The first one is actually Mushishi, the next chapter. I actually really enjoyed the first season. It's been a while since that first season aired, so it's great to see that they're actually coming back, continuing the story. Aniplex USA, I believe, is going to be releasing this on DVD and Blu-ray probably near the end of this year. I'm just guessing about that part right now. But it looks like Crunchyroll will be streaming the sequel as its simulcast from Japan. But the other one, the one that I'm very interested in, is this one. Selector Infected Wixoss, or Wixoss, I think that's how you want to call it. Wixoss. This one has a very dark feeling, semi-similar to Card Captor Sakura. As you guys remember, we talked about this last week. The tagline of this series is Hope, Desire, and Greed. Girls with each of these feelings in their hearts are being swallowed into the vortex of a dangerous game. The game they're talking about is Wixoss. It's a hugely popular card game amongst middle school kids, because high school is too old for some people, I guess. But few players know about the Lurig card, L-R-I-G. The card of girls who possess will. Only special girls can hear the voice of Lurig, and those who possess the card are called selectors. So apparently, we're going to get to a pretty deep and most likely disturbing aspect to this game. And if you want to throw in the age factor in there, I'm not expecting much in terms of that. Like I said, definitely has CCS vibes into it, but I'm sure we'll get a very unique spin on the concept, or at least one can hope for a unique spin on the concept. What's surprising is that Crunchyroll is not the only company that's going to be simulcasting, or at least streaming, this series. Funimation also made the announcement they'll be streaming Wixoss. They announced a couple other series as well. One is a bit of a gag series, Puchimas. The sequel, they announced they'll be streaming as well. The first 3 episodes are available right now. They started available earlier today for subscribers. Those of you who do not have a Funimation subscription will be able to watch these first 3 episodes for free starting next week. It's one of those like side little gag series based on the Idolmaster franchise. I mean, these are really short as well. They're only like 2 to 3 minutes long. So it's one of those little gag series that will come in, have a joke, have a good laugh at it, and get out of the way and end before they drag it out way too far. It is already streaming on Nico Nico, and it'll be streaming on the Bandai channel and other services in Japan, but at least over here, you'll be able to watch it on Funimation. And if you don't know what this is all about, you can go on Funimation.com and watch the first season. Like I said, they're only like 2 to 3 minutes long. They're good for a laugh. Go enjoy it, especially if you're a fan of Idolmaster, like me. They also announced, Funimation also announced, I should state, they're going to be streaming another series called Daimi Dollar. I think that's how you say it. And this one, well, I do have a trailer for you, but the only thing I'm going to say beforehand is that this series actually reunited the staff who worked on High School DxD. So you should have an idea of what to expect from this. I warned you. I kind of warned you already. Yeah. And I think HBO has the correct term in the chat. They're called pleasant distractions. We'll leave it at that. So this comedy is going to center around a high school boy, obviously, named Koichi Madambashi, who has high Edo particles, which is a power source to open and operate the robotic weapon known as Daimi Dollar. With the help of Kyoko from a mysterious Prince Beauty Parlor organization, I can't make that up, that's what it's written, he stands up against the Penguin Empire that troubles humanity. So humankind versus birdkind. And oppai. Let's leave it at that. Apparently the manga was a hit. It ran for 4 years in Japan. Yeah, I'm kind of wondering if I should probably find the manga just to read it for the hell of it. We'll see what happens. Some other news from Funimation. They announced a while ago that they got the rights to sell on DVD and Blu-ray here in the States. Season 1 of Day Live, a TV series that was supernatural, magical harem anime, I guess you can call it that. Well, it looks like the first season will be available on Blu-ray starting June 10th. And to get people excited for it, if they can, for something like this, here is the English trailer. Enjoy. So that's the thing. Yeah. So if you've never heard of this series, like I said, space supernatural magic harem thing, the world is devastated by mysterious spatial quakes. But apparently, in the center of each of these spatial quakes is actually a spirit. For lack of a better phrase, an intergalactic hottie, as some of the characters like to call them. The secret of stopping these spatial quakes is to romance the extraterrestrial spirit that's responsible for the chaos. The main character, Shido, is just an average Joe who gets bossed around by his little sister and mocked by all the popular girls. But then he's chosen to become the hero of humanity by having to date and romance every single one of these spirits. It had its moments. That's all I have to say. It had its moments. I do have to say, though, there's a number of great voice talent, staples of the voice talent industry. I'm seeing the list: Michelle Rojas, J. Michael Tatum, and a couple other people. Michelle Lee. I mean, good acting. The only problem is, for me at least, the main girl that you hear, for the most part, in that trailer, the character's named Kotori, and it's voiced by a relative newcomer named Bryn April. I could be screwing up her last name, and I apologize. She's only done stuff on Kami-sama Kiss, Red Data Girl, Attack on Titan, some bit parts in Space Dandy, and then, of course, Day Live. So you gotta find your niche. You gotta find out what characters your voice best fits. And so, you know what? You keep on doing anything and everything, because let's face it, if you've talked to any voice actor or actress, you've gone to any convention, they do love their job, but it's a feast or famine kind of industry. I mean, you either have a ton of work or you have no work whatsoever. So we'll see what happens with this. If you're a fan of this series, Funimation, like I said, is releasing this on DVD and Blu-ray June 10th. Okay, I want to showcase something that's really, really awesome. It is also really, really cheesy, because one of the things Japan loves to do, and for the most part does it so cheesily it's good, is like they love to take their favorite, anime, manga characters, Sentai characters, and give them like full-fledged movies. And the latest one is Kikaider. Now, Kikaider's been around for a long time, but it's actually getting essentially a kind of a reboot, because that's part of the title, Kikaider Reboot. This is the trailer for the live-action adaptation, and that's all I can say. I'm not going to spoil anything else. Enjoy. I mean, it looks cheesy, but it looks like so much fun. I really hope one of like the small independent theaters actually picks this one up and brings it over stateside for at least a few showings. I think it'd be a ton of fun. The idea behind the film is that it takes place in the near future, where the ARC project uses robots to solve problems that the Japanese government cannot solve with just humans alone. When a major famous robot engineering expert, Nobuhiko Komiyoji, dies, his rivals steal his plans and start causing chaos around the city, until a conscious robot, Jiro, also known as Kikaider, who was created by Komiyoji, appears as the hero and basically starts laying waste to anything and everything that gets in his path. God, I'll be honest, like these like Sentai, Kamen Rider, Kikaider, series. I mean, they started all the way back in like the 60s and 70s, sometimes earlier than that. And I have to be honest, I hadn't started really getting into these until probably like the mid to late 90s, just because of just the sheer cheesy fun aspect to them. If your local anime convention can actually start watch or showing some of these videos, trust me, you'll enjoy it. You'll have a good time. They're only like an hour to hour and a half long. Just do yourself a favor and have fun with them. On a side note, I know I talked about a few weeks ago about the Ghost in the Shell Arise Borderless project, about those short films. Now, they were streamed or shown for a limited time in limited theatrical showing in Japan. And true to their word, every single one of the short films, that's like I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 or 6 of them, are available right now to watch on YouTube. Anime News Network has a nice article that neatly brings them all together, so you can just search for that and have fun with that. It's actually, I've watched 2 of them so far. They are fantastic. I think you guys will truly enjoy them. Okay, let's talk about Hayao Miyazaki. Because Miyazaki is, to some people, one of the godfathers of, anime filmmaking. And it looks like there's a brand new box set that's coming out that I'm really, really interested in picking up. The translated title is The Collected Works of Director Hayao Miyazaki. This is a 13-disc of DVD and Blu-rays. It's a full collection of Miyazaki's works. Not only will you have, the Ghibli movies in there, but we're also like the first home video release of Yuki no Taiyo, which was a television pilot film that was Miyazaki's first work as a director. And of course, like I said, the Ghibli films, Porco Rosso, Kiki's Delivery Service, My Neighbor Totoro, Castle in the Sky, Nausicaa, Howl's Moving Castle, Spirited Away, Mononoke, Ponyo, The Wind Rises. It even includes Lupin III, The Castle Cagliostro. Hey, look, I think we found where that U.S. company is getting their source for the upcoming DVD or Blu-ray re-release. The Yuki no Taiyo film, I mean, it was a pilot film. It's only 5 or 6 minutes long. It was created back in the early 70s that Miyazaki storyboarded and directed himself entirely. There's a bunch of bonus features in here, including the unedited 90-minute press conference from last September where Miyazaki was discussing his retirement from feature films. Now, we all know at this point that retirement is a fickle word with Miyazaki because he decided to focus a lot of his efforts now on an upcoming manga and some side film projects as well. Yeah. No word yet when this will be available. If you go like on Amazon or Amazon.jp, you'll see a couple listings for these individual discs, but as far as a box set, I'm not seeing one just yet. But once I do, I will definitely let you guys know. Okay. You guys know I'm a big Vocaloid fan. You guys know, I'm a fan of all of them, but Luke is, my favorite Krypton Vocaloid right now. But kind of started taking over that one is Iya, which is, She is a Vocaloid. She's not a Krypton Vocaloid, so unfortunately you will probably never see her in those amazing concerts. She has her own concerts she's done from time to time. Likewise, you're not going to see her in any of Krypton Sega's video games. Well, screw that. She made her own video game, her own music video game called IA VT Colorful. Enjoy. Hey, look, I have now solidified my reason to pick up a PS Vita. So yeah, this one, it definitely has a different style of the usual rhythm game, especially because it has a changing, or the notes have a changing trajectory in all 3 dimensions. That's actually pretty badass. The VT in the title stands for visual tracks, and you definitely get that style in that trailer. Now, like Project Diva, F, and you had like 30 to 40 songs about that. No, this one is having over 60 songs right off the bat. It'll be available July 31st for the PlayStation Vita. No word yet if it'll be available on the PS3 or PS4. I'm guessing depends on the popularity. If it sells really well, they'll probably do a port, and then next thing you know, she becomes a little more popular, and I'm really happy for that. So I will definitely be picking this one up. I had to share that one. Some minor things real quick before we wrap things up. You guys may have remembered we talked about a bunch of news from out of Anime Japan last week as well. There was some figure announcements or pre-order announcements that I wasn't able to include last week, so we're going to throw them in here right now. And they're from our good friends over at Good Smile Company, because they are taking pre-orders for several new Nendroid figures. I mean, right now, Miss Monochrome is, of course, getting one. We were all, I was surprised when they first announced that, to go along with that that one episode of Miss Monochrome that was all about her getting her own Nendroid. Yeah, they're actually going to make it. So you can pre-order this right now. Of course, also with, from Kill la Kill, you got to go with Ryuko. She's going to come with 3 different facial expressions, alternate hem parts, guitar case, alternate eye parts for Senketsu. I do like the fact, a nice little note, is that the red streak in her hair is actually semi-transparent. So you still get that, like, that anime style look in her eyes. I think that's really cool. But the thing is, you can have Ryuko all you want. You're definitely also going to want to pick up Mako. I mean, she kind of stole the show at several parts of the series. She coming with actually 4 different facial expressions, special bendable arms, that's kind of a rare feature, a plate of mystery croquettes, and of course Guts, which is her family's pet dog. I'm kind of digging this one. I mean, I look at Nendroids, and while some of them are really cool, I know some people are absolutely, fanatical about them. And I can kind of understand why. I mean, posable, chibi style, and they don't cost nearly as much as all the other figures I have behind me. These ones I'll debate picking them up, because I'll probably order the PVC 1/8, 1/7 scale figures anyways when they come out. So we'll have to see what happens with that. All right, last thing to talk about before we wrap up this episode. We talked about Infected Selector Wixross a little while ago, and I said it was very similar in style or an idea behind Card Captor Sakura, CCS. Well, it looks like a die-hard fan of CCS decided, you know what? The series, at least the openings of the series, needed a bit of a refresh. So he decided, you know what? We're going to take the entire first openings, the opening of the series, and we're going to turn it into 3D. And it is stunning what this guy has done. Enjoy. So unbelievably detailed and just epic. Kind of want to find a way if he's actually released those those models, because the program he uses a 3D animation software called Blender. That is insane. Those of you who were watching the series before and have an inkling of what it takes to create like a model and do CG animation can definitely appreciate that, and it's just fantastic. Now I have to watch the series again. I have that song stuck in my head now. I have that song stuck on my iPod, my iPhone too. So maybe I'll have to add that back into the play cycle. All right, all. Well, I think that's going to be it for this episode. I want to thank you guys so much for hanging out as always. I'll catch you guys on Sunday for another episode of From My Mother's Basement. Of course, stay tuned for post-show. Thank you guys for hanging out for 90 episodes. I'm really surprised you guys have stuck around for that long, and I'm very appreciative that you have. Last bit of news, I'm waiting on a response from Anime Kanji about an Ultimate Geek Showdown panel that'll be taking place down there in about 3 weeks. So once I get final approval from them, I will definitely let you guys know. Everybody, thanks so much for hanging out. For AniBreak, I'm Jason. I'll see you guys next time. Take it easy.